Hello, everyone. My name is Chia Dogu. I'm the host of the Bulletproof Entrepreneur podcast. I'm also a digital marketer. So, I was just coming off a swim when I went and logged into Facebook, and I was like, huh, I noticed something that was very strange. And I was like, well, I have a few minutes. Let me do one of the sessions I like to call funnel failures and how to fix them. So, I noticed that my bank, the bank that I use here in Canada, which is Royal Bank of Canada, has a wealth management arm, and they ran a particular Facebook ad. Well, you can see on my screen here the Facebook ad, and I just wanted to give a quick comment on the ad, and tell people like you that are running Facebook ads how to fix them. So take a look at this ad that Royal Bank of Canada Wealth Management team ran. So a few things to note. Well, first of all, if you're going to run a Facebook ad, you have to be mindful of what you're going to put in the ad. That means everything from the copy to the photo to the call to action. Everything kind of must jump out at the reader so that it grabs the person's attention and pulls them into the ad so that way they can take an action. Now, looking at this ad, I really was depressed when I saw this. I was like, man, this is very, very weak. So I took it upon myself to try and fix it for Royal Bank of Canada. So let's take a look here. So first of all, look at this copy in this message board. It says, in over 60 years, there have never been a recession that wasn't preceded by an inversion of the yield curve. Learn what this means for the future direction of bond yields and stock prices in the US. Read more here. Okay, so first of all, this ad is running in Canada. So unless you've gone to like business school and you have a degree in economics or an MBA or something like that, majority of the people reading this are not going to care because they might see 60 years recession yield curve, and they'll be like, what's a yield curve and what's inverting the yield curve and why does that mean anything to me? So a lot of people will not understand what a yield curve is and what the inversion of the yield curve means because they are not trained in economics or financial lingo to know what even this is. And then the second part of it is, of course, you're talking about the US and the US movement. So we're in Canada, this is Canada. If you're going to talk about movements of yields and whatnot, you have to relate it to the people you're advertising to because a lot of people might care, but a lot of people might not care what happens in the US because they feel the two countries are separate and distinct entities. So, all in all, that being said, this first part of the ad didn't really work for me. Now, the second most important part of an ad is the image that you use to grab the reader's attention. Now, looking at this is just a blue, wavy, I don't know what this is, to be honest with you. If I didn't know what a yield curve meant, or bond yields that they mentioned in there, I wouldn't have paid any. I would just say, why are they wasting so much space on this blue photo, whatever it's called? But I kind of knew that they were talking about it's a curve, and basically you're trying to look here at that. But you would have to have background information for you to understand what this potentially means. And a lot of the times, if you're busy on Facebook, you're not going to even correlate the two that, yield curve and this blue whatever is actually a graph in economics or in finance. So that did not make any sense. Why did they put such a very bland photo in there? And then the call to action, which is here, is paying attention to the yield curve is just a blank statement. It's what does that mean? How does that affect me? Why should I click on it? And so those are the three key issues. So we'll get to the link click and the learn more, but I just wanted to point out that, yes, there are a few comments and there are a few shares, but I can guarantee you reading all this is the responses here are primarily based off of people who understand the terminology involved. So they understand the topic, which is financial markets. They understand what yield curves mean. They understand what bond yields are, and they understand the movement of stock prices and whatnot. So all these people kind of get it, but I can guarantee you that these people are the exception, not the rule. So take for example, if 100 people saw this ad, maybe one person might understand what the first few lines up here meant in order for them to even sit down and make a comment. If a lot of people that actually understand it might not even care because it's like, I know what it is and I don't believe what RBC is talking about here, so why should it concern me? So that's another thing. There's nothing here to grab the reader's attention, and there's nothing here to interest them. So it just seems quite boring. All right, so let's go to the click learn more. I already have it queued up here, or this link. And here we go. This is where it takes you to when you click those two links. It takes you to pay attention to the yield curve. Okay, so it takes me to their website at RBC Wealth Management. I see all the links and everything. Now, first of all, when you're running the direct response ad like this from Facebook, if you are trained in, well, I call it digital marketing or even advertising and direct response copy, you understand that you don't want your reader to be distracted by anything else apart from what you're presenting in their front. So right now you've sent the person here to this blog post, and okay, thankfully I see here that they have a Facebook pixel on there, which is good for retargeting later, but they're distracted by all these other things like this top bar, find an advisor, about us, all these things. There's a lot of distraction on this page. Share that, you know what, somebody that's trying to actually understand what is going on will be easily distracted by all these things. So this does not really work for the ad or for the funnel. So now we go into the discussion of the yield curve and the financial markets, and of course they put the same bland blue photo here, which it ties to the ad, but then again it tells you nothing really. So you go into it and you see the shape of the yield curve more specifically. Okay, so first of all, like I said, this whole article, and I'm not going to bore anyone reading it, is written to someone that already has an in-depth understanding of financial markets. An ordinary person like your regular, and I'm not saying this to put anybody down, but just your regular guy, you know, somebody say he works in McDonald's, is a dry cleaner, or anybody, just a regular person that is not into the financial markets will not understand what even a college grad in physics or chemistry or whatever, you're not going to know what all these things mean if you're not specifically studying the financial markets. So first of all, this tells me that, okay, this is only for people that understand this, and if I read it, I'm going to get ahead. I have a degree in economics, and I'm still finding it a little difficult because it's written in boring language, and I have stopped reading economic jargon for a very long time. I only read high-level stuff in the papers. So all this is the general ideas are the steepening yield curve, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I get the idea and understand it conceptually because of my background and training, but I'm looking at it from the eyes of the person they want to pull into. Basically, the reason why they ran this ad, RBC, is because they're trying to get clients for their wealth management business. And you cannot put in a basket everyone that's going to see that ad, because you know that your sophisticated investor is different from your unsophisticated investor. But this language written here for this whole piece is only targeted towards the more sophisticated investor, so it's not really going to work. Then you have this graph, which, yes, what the heck is going on here? The yield, blah blah blah, US 10-year treasury notes, 1-year notes. Okay, so it ties into the whole write-up and everything and the inversion of a yield curve, but nobody wants to go into National Bureau of Economic Research and understand all that if you're just a guy looking at an ad on a Friday like I'm doing right now. So then so this whole thing does not work. You know, we see the Craig Bishop, the lead strategies, US fixed income strategies. Yeah, so these are smart guys that know what they're talking about, and they're obviously respected in the industry. And so, yes, what they're saying has clout and it has meaning, but for the layperson reading this, you're not going to understand anything. So I looked at all this and I said, all right, this ad is probably just, it's a fail of a funnel, so to speak. So I think anybody watching this from RBC Wealth Management, this is a fail of a funnel. It's not going to do, and there is no call to action at the end. Yes, before I move on. So with uncharted waters, blah blah blah. Needless to say, investors are cautious. So why did you run an ad on Facebook, send people to this page, and you don't give them a call to action? You don't say take another step, learn more, do this, sign up, hear from our people. None of that. You just send them to a blog and they read it and they'll go away. That's it. So there was no point of all this. You know, you might as well have just made a free post on Facebook and leave it like that. But you spent money to send people to this page and there's no call to action to do anything further. So I was like, man, this is a complete waste. So these are some of the problems I found with this ad. Now that we've identified the problems, let me show you how you can correct them if you're going to run an ad like this. So first of all, I'd go back and I look at Facebook and I would say, okay, so first of all, we need some good copy, we need a good image, we need a good call to action, all that stuff. Now, I already did all that, so I'm not going to run you through it. So the first step was to create an ad. Okay, so now these are some of my, where is my ad? So I said to myself, what's an image that's going to grab somebody's attention? So let's go in here to my box. And here I pull out this guy. So this is the first thing. So I said, okay, I had to change that image from just a blue thing. So I found a very, it's a challenging photo, so to speak. You see a guy biting on a coin or something. He looks quite scary. You don't know what it's all about. But I was like, yeah, this is probably a good visual because first of all, he's looking directly at you. So he's going to grab your attention. You're going to be arrested once you see it. So I said, all right, let me combine this guy into something else. And then I created a report, so this is the report I created based off of that. And it just says, I used everything based off of what RBC gave me. And I said, all right, 3 signs of a recession and how to protect your wealth. Because basically what they were talking about in that whole inversion of the yield curve thing was basically the signs of a recession and how to protect yourself. So that's what they were talking about. And that's what they were thinking, and then that's the message they should try and convey. So I said to myself, all right, let's transform everything they've written in that whole spiel into a free report that people can download and understand more. And it has to be something interesting that will catch their attention. So I said, all right, taking all that economic data and breaking it down, we say 3 signs of a recession and how to protect your wealth. That's simple enough. So people will be like, okay, 3 signs of a recession and how to protect your wealth. Now, how did I combine that into a Facebook ad? I am glad you asked. So this is what I did. You can see here I went to AdPal, it's a mock-up generator for ads. And so this is basically what we have for the ad. Now, 1 second, let me pull it up for you. So the ad is right here. So it says, I put the sign because when you're doing a Facebook ad, you have to be mindful of using too many words because Facebook will flag you. So I just said, hey, free for 3 days, download now, 3 signs of a recession and how to protect your wealth. This is what's going to go into the ad in Facebook. And then I now changed everything. I changed the copy, I changed everything that they had provided. And I now said, all right, so let's break this down for people. So it's now going to take you to a Facebook ad, which is what I'm going to run. And it says here, free report reveals the 3 telltale signs of a coming recession and how you can take action to protect yourself from losing everything you've worked hard for over the past few years. Now, once somebody reads this statement on a Friday, they're going to be like, oh, free report, 3 telltale signs of a coming recession. Okay, so I can actually predict a recession and then what steps I can take. So it's already giving you something to do, It's telling you what's in the reports, the 3 telltale signs that a recession is impending. It's also telling you how you can take action. So you're not giving somebody one side of the equation without giving them the solution. You're giving them a problem and you're also giving them a solution. And then if you look at the ad, like I said, the guy's face is already quite arresting, so he's looking directly at you. That's a psychological thing there. Once your eyes go on this, it's not going to go on the words there. It's going to go straight to the eyes of the guy, and you'll be like, okay, 3 signs of recession and how you can protect your wealth. And this guy looks very scary, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and download this and learn more. And then it says here, just to call the people's attention further, free report reveals how you can predict a recession and take steps to protect your investments. Learn the 3 signs of a coming recession that have helped many wealthy investors like Warren Buffett preserve their wealth. So I'm like, oh, if Warren Buffett has used these signs to preserve his wealth and he's almost the 3rd or the 4th richest man in the world, maybe I should take this information a little bit more seriously than I'm taking it right now, So it's one of those things where it pulls you because everybody knows Warren Buffett's prowess as an investor. So looking at it, they say, okay, those are the 3 signs. I didn't say these are Warren Buffett's advice, but I'm just saying the signs that he has relied on because these are signs many people rely on. But you know what? Unless you have that training in economics and in financial markets, like I said, it's difficult for people to actually read economic data and know what to do with it. So it's good to break it down to plain English that people will understand. So looking at this is like, first of all, you feel, okay, yeah, sure, I'd want to click on that. I want to learn more. And so when you click the learn more, if you were to run the ad, it's going to take you to the landing page. Now, this is what I did here. I created a landing page. And it's just a mock landing page, so it's not something real that I'm running for RBC or anything. I just did it to train everybody. And this is what you're going to get. So first of all, once you get here, you'll notice that, all right, there is no other bar, no banner, no logo, no nothing to distract you, but just the direct information you need. And here, it's going to explain further what you're going to get and why you're getting it. So it says, the 3 signs of recession and how to protect yourself from losing everything. So it ties into the ad we already saw earlier, which told you the same information right here. So if you know how to protect yourself from losing everything, so you know you're at the right place. And then it now further explains that smart economics and wealth managers have found that there have been indicators in the macroeconomic data that have shown the start of every recession in the last 60 years. The problem is the average person does not have access to this data and would require a master's degree to understand what the data means, which was evident in the write-up RBC guys did earlier. So that's why we've created this free report. That's why we've created this free and easy to understand report to teach you the telltale indicators of a coming recession and how to protect your wealth. So basically, what you know that, okay, you're not going to get economic jargon speak. You're going to actually get, something easy to understand. It's short and it's a simple report. And you have a call to action here that says, yes, I want to learn how to protect my wealth. So once somebody clicks on this, they're going to go to a page that will sign up, put their email and phone number, and they'll receive a download link for this report. So here you now have the overview, just to tie it back to the ad, because people have to always reinforce in their brain psychologically that where they're coming from is where they are, and you have to tie those two links consistently together. So you show them that, okay, this is the report I'm going to get, this is the cover, yes, it's the same thing as what was in the ad, and then you also explain, the first thing you're going to get in the report, since it's 3 signs, here I put 4 as a bonus, but you're going to teach them the 3 signs, and you break it down with something that's easy to understand. So you say, discover the simple trick to understand what the economics and pundits are talking about when they come on TV to talk about interest rates, what the central bank will do, and how it affects your money. So that's one of the telltale signs. When they're talking and they're trying to explain economic data, they all use, highly specialized language, but you understand the simple trick to understanding all that so that you too can break down the information they're giving you. The second point you're going to learn in the report is that you learn all about short-term and long-term interest rates and how it affects your ability to preserve and protect your wealth. So basically, rather than talking about, inversion of the yield curve and whatnot, we don't want to overload the reader with technical terminology right now. We just want to give them something simple and easy to understand. And we're saying, hey, the inversion of the yield curve is based on the short-term and long-term interest rates. We'll teach you all about how to understand it and how it affects preserving your wealth. Simple. The third pillar in the report that you're going to get is learn the simple rule of thumb you can use to apply to things like unemployment rate, inflation, housing starts, and much more that will help you know if you should take decisive action on your investments. So somebody reasoned that, we're like, okay, so that's another place where people find actionable data to know that either a recession is coming or it's not coming. When you have all these economic indicators like unemployment rates, inflation, housing starts, and all that stuff. The final bonus information, because RBC was talking about the United States economic policies, especially with the treasury yield, I put something like, hey, how to tell if the United States economic policies will have an effect on your Canadian investments, RRSPs, real estate portfolio, and everything else. Just because Canadian economy is closely tied to the U.S. economy. Canada relies heavily in terms of exports to the U.S. and U.S. primarily buys a lot of Canadian goods and services. You need to know if things like taxes, tariffs, trade embargoes and whatnot, that especially things that Donald Trump is currently doing right now, is going to affect your Canadian investments. And if you can do anything to protect yourself from the policies being made in the US so that they do not adversely affect your own investments. So those are the 4 things. So you've plainly explained what they're going to get in the report, and now they're going to read about who wrote the report, because you want to tie it to something, like I said, that is not only tangible but reputable. And of course, because I wrote this, I'm not part of RBC in any way. I just put their logo here for somebody from RBC that would do this can also replace my face and my name with their name and logo, like this Craig Simpson gentleman back there, and just say Chiodogo, the bulletproof investment guy, RBC, and then it talks about, I put my real bio because, like I said, I'm not misrepresenting. I'm not part of RBC, neither do I work for RBC, but I'm just showing an example. So you would talk about yourself, you show a picture of yourself, who wrote the report, and you say what you do, your background and everything, and then you give them another opportunity to click the link. And once they click the link, it should go to something like, give me your, and now I did not change all this because I'm leaving it as part of my own lead capture system, which I use for my own business, but it's just going to show you RBC can do something like this. They put the report here again, talk about what they're going to get in the report, name, email, let me have it, and of course some credibility banners like where you've been and whatnot. So all this is just to reinforce the funnel so that people can give their name, email, and phone number if you actually need it. And then you can also put, I didn't put a Facebook pixel because I'm not running this live and I'm not trying to retarget anybody for this. But yeah, but this is just the quick and dirty funnel fail fix that I'm prescribing for RBC Wealth Management. So you can take, an ad that I believe is probably not performing. You can take the ad here, this ad here that is not performing, I don't think it's performing, and I'm willing to be proven wrong on that. And you can convert it to something that is going to be high performance and is going to get you leads and results, because I don't think these guys want to spend money to get no leads and no results. They're trying to get people to hear what they have to say as a company, and they'll also sign up to do business with them. And the only way you can do that is to have your entire marketing funnel working in an optimal capacity. So that's it for today's funnel failure and how to fix it. My name is Chiodogo. I'm a digital marketing consultant. You can find me on my website, www.odogu.com. I run a small business podcast where I teach about building a solid business in the GTA, Greater Toronto area. It's called the GTA Business Titles Podcast. And yeah, so let me know if you like this video. I could do more of them. And let me know what you think. If somebody from RBC watches this and you guys want to communicate with me about anything I've commented so far, just feel free to send me an email. I'm going to put my website and email address somewhere right here when I edit it. And I'll be glad to talk to you guys and help you fix your funnel. So thanks for everything. Till next time when I do another video. Ciao, ciao. Take care. Bye.